In today's video, we are doing a Q&A session. These are questions coming from you guys from all of our platforms. We're going to answer them right now on the Biz Talk. Question number one, what are some great retail products, if you're a nail tech, that you can sell to your clientele? This is a good question. I will say this, retail in salon, I mean, I've seen techs and hairstylists do it that are really, really, really good at it, but it's never been like a massive market, I would say, but still you can earn some extra monthly income. I think it's a great idea. Tracy's always had some good recommendations on this. What would you say, Trace?
Oil obviously is a no-brainer. You want your clients to use oil, and if you teach them the benefits of oil, usually that's a very easy sale. Done polishes before. People like to take them home to their kids. They like to be able to switch things out. So polish, pretty colors.
Could you put together this is sort of like what I was thinking. It's like, what if you did like a little at-home maintenance kit to keep it like a file, an oil?
I don't want my clients filing their nails.
Oh, okay.
I don't. Yeah, because they're like, oh, look what I did when I was drinking wine and watching TV. Like, that's awesome.
You just jacked it all up.
Awesome.
So what could be like maybe a little like
oil
lotion?
Yeah, lotions are great for retailing, things like that. Again, you're very correct, because when it comes to nail products, and retail, the margin isn't there. Now, hair is a different story, right? I go to the hairdresser and she sells me shampoo and conditioner. I could literally go to the supply place and I'm spending twice as much for convenience.
Yeah.
But it's still like, I just went to the hair place and she's like, I recommend the spray on, this shampoo and this conditioner, $150. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. So, the margin isn't quite there. So for me, I did try it. I didn't care for it, but some people are very
really
good at this.
It,
yeah. And I will see them reselling lip balm, anything that, aromatherapy, they do all kinds of different things.
Right.
But when it comes to actual nail product, again, I'm not a fan of the file, oil, lotions. I'm trying to think of other things.
Yeah. I think in the end, it's like, you want them to maintain their cuticles, and maybe they're, you don't want them to be all dry. And so like a lotion, I think lotions and cuticle oil would be really, really good.
Sometimes top coat. It depends what they're also doing. Yeah, top coat. If they're, especially with natural nails, so that you teach them, like, if you top coat every other day, it's going to maintain your manicure. It's going to make it last longer. So things like that also is great.
Yeah.
For retailing.
I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
Next question is on nail apprenticeship. Is this an actual thing? Does it exist? Can you do it? Like, what's the deal with this, Trace?
So yes, it is a thing in some states. However, if you have the time to go to school, you're going to get it done much, much faster. And then you're also not relying on Habib, who, I'm 6 months in, he goes, you know what, I'm tired of doing this. I'm over it.
You got to start all over. Or
yeah.
Find somebody new.
And I think there's also pay that's involved. It can be, if finding someone to do the apprenticeship for you is going to be work, because I wouldn't have done it for someone because of everything that was involved as far as the loss. So is
a nail apprenticeship basically like you can earn your license by, instead of going to school in some states?
I think you still have to, again, you have to look into
take a state board probably.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, but you're building up hours that way, but it's a lot more hours.
I see.
That you're doing.
Okay, so check your state board, see what's required, but apparently it is an actual thing that can be done. You just got to check your state to see if it's allowed. Next question is, what products do I use for different types of nails, challenging nails? I think it was bitten nails, ski jump nails. I think Tracy can kind of get into those details of, like, for these types of nails, use this, and for these types of nails, you want to use this. So how does that break down, Trace?
So this is one of the reasons why I really recommend knowing how to do it all, especially first starting out, because everybody can decide, I'm going to move mostly to gel, and then they customize the clientele for it. But the rule of thumb for me is if they have damaged nails, thin nail beds, wide nail beds, bitten nails, ski slope nails, to me, they're an acrylic candidate because it's very hard. I can pinch it. I can cast it. I can pinch it better. I know everybody's like, you can pinch gel. I can pinch acrylic way better than I can pinch gel. And I can kind of mold it. It's much like I think Greg describes it as a cast on a broken nail.
Right.
Gel loves a healthy nail. It loves if someone's working in water all day, in chemicals all day, it doesn't break down like an acrylic in chemicals. So they're more of a gel candidate. So, and then you got the person in the middle that just pretty much can wear whatever, their nails are nice and you just go off of what you want to. But always say not everybody can wear acrylic, not everybody can wear gel. That's why we have both.
Yeah. I think that's just a good, solid reason, again, Tracey, why you should learn acrylic and why you should learn gel eventually.
Yeah.
Learn
especially when you're building, because my big thing is if you come in, I'm trying to build and Habib comes in and he's like, but I want gel nails. And I look at his nail beds and I'm like, you can try to explain, like, once it's acrylic or gel, it's all going to look the same when it goes out the door. But Habib's like, no, I want gel. And his nail beds would take gel. Now I have to turn that client down. So I would not want to do that. Learn both.
Here's a question. If somebody, let's say somebody has some type of problem nails, let's go bitten nails and you go acrylic. Could you eventually start filling in with gel?
100%. Yeah. 100%.
To eventually get them on gel?
Yeah. Yeah. You just cast it and you could pretty much almost immediately start going into gel on them. But, a person that has bitten nails also has to understand that it's not going from black hair to platinum blonde hair. You can't.
Right.
There's a process and you are not going from your bitten nails that you did to yourself to being a hand model. There's a process.
Yeah, there's a process. Nice. Next question that we have up is, how do you deal with no-show clients? This is a reality in the salon as you're building. I would imagine after you have like a good, solid, regular, full clientele, you're maybe not going to get that as much because like you've sort of picked out the best.
The best of the best.
The best of the best. But in the process of building, you're going to have no-shows. Like
it happens.
That's going to happen. So how do you deal with that?
And I've done it myself. I mean, I don't like to admit that, but sometimes things slip our mind. So I'm not like so mean that the first time but this is why we tell them, that either a lot of people are doing deposits now. Amazing.
Huge.
Me is if you missed an appointment, you had to pay for the appointment, before you got back on my books. But that wasn't the first time. If Habib called me, it's like, oh my gosh. Or I called, hey, Habib, your appointment. He's like, oh my gosh, I totally spaced it. Right. I totally forgot. I'm like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Second time, we're not having that same conversation. And I had my rule of thumb was 3 strikes and you're out.
Yeah.
So you did that to me 3 times. I didn't care if you were going to pay me for the appointment you missed. I'm not putting it on your books because it's not necessarily even about the money. It's sitting in the middle of the day. Mm-hmm. Sitting is awful.
Yes, of course.
It's awful. And I always told people, like, I shouldn't just charge you for the appointment. I should charge you for the fact that I went down the street and went shopping. But even if you just charge them a deposit, or you got to charge them something, guys. And I'm not talking about your first time people, because, as I tried to explain to my clients, I paid for the rent, I paid for the lights, I paid for childcare, I paid for this, I paid for that. It wasn't just me not making money. Right. It was me going in the hole.
Yeah. And I really like, there is like a flexibility.
Of course.
Until there's not, right? It's like, okay, cool. It happened. Or if it was a genuine mistake, these things happen. Or if you're like really sick, I don't want you to come in the salon and get everybody sick. Like those kind of things, get it. But if you're, you miss it again, it's like, okay. Yeah. There's a point where you have to like draw the line.
Yeah. And typically you start charging, it's going to wake them up because they don't want to spend money for nothing.
Right.
They consider it nothing. You're not, you don't consider it nothing. So that typically wakes some people up, but some people they just don't remember, or they're always the one that has the emergency. And it's like, I just can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. This is a good one, actually.
Yes, it is.
Dealing with really nasty.
That's not what Jorge said.
I know. I can't say it. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
My mom's watching. I can't say
cussing.
it. Dealing with a-hole customers, right? Not nice customers. I feel like in the beginning process too, Tracey, there are people that are like, well, maybe I should just deal with it. Like they treat me horrible, or, they threaten not to pay, or whatever that might be. If somebody's really rude and not nice, I mean, you're talking about you're calling them and somebody actually used that term. How do you deal with a bleep, customers?
Yeah.
How is that done?
Everybody has a bad day, right?
Yes.
But there are people that just legit that's their personality, and they're never going to get better, and it makes you miserable. And we put up with a lot of things when we're trying to build a clientele, Habib. I did. And I don't know that I would now, but, I was just, I was younger and sweeter and nicer and not so jaded in life. But my saying has always been, if you would literally pay them not to come in, get rid of them. Get rid of. If you look on your book and you walk in the salon and you go, Habib's coming in tonight at 6 p.m. and it literally ruins your day,
you got to get rid of them.
Get rid of them. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And the more you do it, the more you're just giving them power to be that kind of personality. Now, sometimes it's a conversation. Listen, Habib, first of all, it doesn't seem like you're very happy with my services. I get a lot of anxiety. To be honest, I see that you're on my books, and it just, I think about it all day, and I just don't think I'm a good fit for you.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're a good fit for me. But you know what? I wish you the best. I appreciate what I appreciate what we've had in the past, but it's just not going to work. Now, two things will happen from this conversation. One, either Habib goes, oh my God, I am so sorry. I have a stressful job and I do take it out on people, and this is something I know, and I promise
it won't happen again.
I will just keep my mouth shut, or, it won't happen again. Now you have the option, like, okay, we can try it again, and it may get better. It might get better. Typically, if a person's they'll go back into it, but it might get better. Or two, they're going to get upset. They're going to leave. And you know what's going to be what happened? You're going to be happy.
Right.
The minute they walk out that door, you're just like, I don't ever have to deal with Habib again. And I really look forward to that day.
Tracey, it's not coming anytime soon. So, we have had those types of customers, distributors, like early on. I think right now we have a good mix. I mean, we kind of recently went through a situation, where we had a tough customer and we had to, separate. And this happens in business, but you have to be able to break up with a client. You have to be able to take that step to break up with a client, especially if they are not nice. And it is that feeling that you're talking about, Tracey, of pit in the stomach. I mean, dude, that's just not worth it.
It's a horrible feeling.
It's a horrible feeling.
And it's an awkward conversation, but what's more awkward is having to deal with it every 2 to 3 weeks.
That is a nightmare, to be honest with you. And
you take it back home, and you don't want to take that back home with you. That doesn't, the minute that client leaves, it's not like that leaves your mentality. You're going to go home. You're going to be grumpy with your family. It's bad.
Isn't that amazing how much, like, you could have the best clients all day, and that one client,
it's so true,
where it ruins that day and the night.
Yep.
And then it takes you maybe a couple days to get through, and you're like, I don't have to see them for 2-3 weeks. But then you're like, oh God, I have to see them in 2 or 3 weeks.
They're back. Yeah.
It's not worth the money. I think you break up. You want to try to find, obviously the best clients to have on your books. That's just not worth it.
No, not at all.
Thank you guys so much for this episode of Q&A. Let us know in the comments below other questions that you have that you want to hear on a future Q&A, and we'll be happy to answer them. Thank you, Tracey, so much.
Thank you.
And we will see you next time on the Biz Talk.
Subscribe the channel now. Subscribe the channel now. Subscribe to the channel now. Subscribe to the channel.